up to. Now is the right time for us to appreciate the work that ArcMap has helped us do, and then migrate to our flagship modern desktop application, ArcGIS Pro. So let's get into the topics we are going to look at today. Getting started with ArcGIS Pro, ArcGIS Pro Essentials, integrating workflows with ArcGIS / sharing data from ArcGIS Pro, and we shall also be looking at demonstrations. So let's start with ArcGIS Pro. ArcGIS Pro is a 64-bit multi-threaded application, while ArcMap is a 32-bit application. And this means that ArcGIS Pro processes larger chunks of data in comparison to ArcMap, which makes it a better performance application. It has a simplified user interface, which is tab-based, and this user interface is similar to all the modern-day desktop applications that you'll interact with. It can easily be interacted with ArcGIS portals, and this includes the ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise portals. Gone are the days where we had to have different apps for 2D and 3D maps or applications. With ArcGIS Pro, you can have the 2D and 3D maps all in the same project, like you can see on this image on your right-hand side. We can also have multiple maps and layouts all displayed in the same project in ArcGIS Pro. And if you've been used to the variety of tools in ArcMap, we still have a comprehensive set of tools of analysis in ArcGIS Pro. Now, how do you get started? How you get started is by importing your project that you have in ArcMap into ArcGIS Pro. This project can be either a map, it can be 3D files for the 3D maps and projects. It can be an MXD, it can be symbology, it can be styles or scenes or models. Now, when you import this in ArcMap, it will appear similar as to how it looks in when you import this in ArcGIS Pro, it will appear similar to how it looks in ArcMap. These are the two images. On your right-hand side, you can see it is the ArcGIS Pro map project imported, and on the left side, it's the ArcMap project. You can tell that they are very similar. But even though they look similar, there is always, when you import, we have a notification bell in ArcGIS Pro that informs you of if there are any updates that you need to check in ArcGIS Pro or there are any changes you need to make. But there are also some key differences that we need to watch out for as we migrate from ArcMap to ArcGIS Pro. These include the OLE objects, which is the object linking embedding, are not supported in ArcGIS Pro. The label placement has been improved. With ArcMap, we've been using the standard label placement whereby we just have labeling for points, lines, and polygons. But with ArcGIS Pro, we provide label placement for features like streets, rivers, boundaries, land parcels. In ArcGIS Pro, we also have the option of anti-aliasing, whereby we are able to smoothen the curves of the maps and lines. We also have the option of notification bell that I've talked about. It helps you to know the lines you need to update in ArcGIS Pro. These are some of the things that are not supported in ArcGIS Pro, but we have alternatives for them. For coverage, we can always use the feature class to feature class 2 to convert our features to either another feature class or feature layer. We can also convert geometric networks into trace networks. For annotations, they can be upgraded in ArcGIS Pro. For representations, we can convert these to unique values under the symbology tools. For personal geodatabases, these are not supported in ArcGIS Pro because ArcGIS Pro is a 64-bit and ArcMap was a 32-bit. So if you have your data in your personal geodatabase, what you do is you can always create a new file geodatabase in ArcGIS Pro. And when you create this, you can then copy and paste your data into the file geodatabase, or you can also use the feature class to geodatabase tool to do this, or you can also export and import. So with ArcGIS Pro, we also have a new interface. Our new interface has the contextual ribbon. This contextual ribbon has different tools and tabs, as you can see up here in this image. We have the map tab, we have insert, analysis, and etc. Now, these tabs are context-based. What I mean by context-based is that when you click on a layer in the contents pane, the appearance or the tools may have to change in the or the tabs in the contextual ribbon may have to change. This takes me to the contents pane. I have the contents pane here on my left. The contents pane works just like the table of contents in ArcMap. We have the different layers in the map displayed in the contents pane, as you can see. We also have the catalog pane that helps us to connect to the project, helps us to connect to the portal. And in here, we can also store some of our favorites, as we're going to see further in the demonstration. We have the symbology pane. Now, the symbology pane stores all the symbology in the project at the moment. We can be able to edit our symbology and properties of our symbology in here. We also have different views in ArcGIS Pro. And with this tool, we are able to have different views displayed. For example, a 2D view, 2D map view, like on the left here, and a 3D map view, all displayed in the same project. We also have layouts in ArcGIS Pro. So ArcGIS Pro is a project-based application. And what we mean with this is that we can have multiple maps and layouts all in the same project. For example, in this screenshot here, you can see the different maps stored in this project. We can also have different layouts. For example, here we have like 6 layouts all in this project. We can have different styles. We can have, when you open your project, it comes with a default geodatabase. Now, this default geodatabase can also be edited to be any other geodatabase that you would want to use in case you don't want to use the default. We can also connect different folders in ArcGIS Pro, and all of this can be packaged and shared in case you need to share it. So here I can pose a simple question. How do I know what I want to put in the same project and what not to put in the same project? So I'll give you some answers to that. If you have related maps, it would be advisable to put them in the same project. If you have same map and you want to use it for different layouts, you can also put them in the same projects. If you have same data connection for groups of maps, you can also put them in the same project. So we can also look at ArcGIS Pro licensing. So the most common and default for ArcGIS Pro licensing is the named user licensing. And with the named user licensing, you just log into the application. When you log in, it will read from the portal that you're connected to. So for example, here I connected to the ArcGIS Online with my named user license. And when you connect, it then reads which type of license do you have on your portal. It can be basic, standard, or advanced. And you can also have extensions. If you have extensions, they will also be displayed here. And in case you don't have a named user license, for example, if you have a single use or concurrent use, you can always configure it from here. Click on configure your licensing option, and you'll be able to configure it using the licensing option you have. So these are some of the updated terminologies that were in ArcMap and have been updated in ArcGIS Pro. We have the data view, which has now become the map view. Data frame is now the map frame. We have create folder connection. Now we just use add folder. We have dockable windows, which are now the panes. Data-driven pages are now the map series, and so on and so forth. So let's go through a simple demonstration of what we've seen so far. So this is the user interface for ArcGIS Pro. And when I open it, you can see I have my map already open. But I would like us to first see how you get started. So how you get started, for example, if you have your project from ArcMap and you want to bring it in ArcGIS Pro, the first thing to do is you have to import it. You click on the Insert tab and then click on the Import, and to prompt you to get your project from where it is stored. So I'll look for where mine is stored and add it. So we are trying to import a project from ArcMap to bring it to ArcGIS Pro, and that's how we do it. So this is the project, and this is how it has opened. As you can see, it has opened exactly the way it was in ArcMap. But we have our notification bell up here, and it's showing a blue dot, which means there are some notifications for us to see. First of all, it's telling me that I have a software update. I'll do that immediately after the webinar. And here it's telling me that I've imported parcel editing. I can click on view results to see if it has imported successfully. And it's telling me that the layer contains a multi-layer line whose symbol width may result in aliasing when displayed. This is a good thing. That means they're going to smoothen the lines of the map. And that's very interesting. So the map has been imported successfully. That's how you bring in your project. And when you go to projects in maps, clearly we can see that the map name is layers 1. So when you check under maps and you look for layers 1, it has already been added in your project. And in case you want to see if the layout of this map has also been added, you can check under layouts and see it has also been added. It's called parcel editing 1. So we've successfully imported our project into ArcGIS Pro. Now let's look at the different contextual tabs that we have. We shall start with the map, which is the tab on the extreme left of the contextual ribbon. Now the map has, let me skip back to my demonstration now. So when you click on map, it will give you tools that are organized in groups. Start with the clipboard, navigate, layer, selection, and etc. So clearly you can see that our selected tool is the Explore. When you hover your mouse there, it will give you a hint on how to use this tool. Now the major key difference of using this tool from ArcMap is when you long press your left mouse button and you start moving, it will help you to pan your map up, down, round, left, which is a new thing. And when you go ahead and you click on one of these data points or features, let's click on this. It will give you a pop-up window that has the attributes of that feature well displayed in there, as you can see. So let's look at insert. We've already seen how to use insert to import. We have the analysis tab. The analysis tab is also has tools that are organized in 2 groups, geoprocessing group on the left. So when you click on history, it will display for you all the tools that you've used recently. And in case you want to use them, you just click on one of them and it will be able to run again. Then we also have the tools, which looks like a briefcase icon. When you click on it, it helps you open the geoprocessing pane. And the geoprocessing pane has the favorites. Now, this means that we are able to add favorite tools to our favorites list. So if you have like a tool that you use oftenly and you use it almost all the time, you can just add it to your favorites list to help you access it easily anytime you need it. Now, down here, we have the recent tools we've run. They are displayed here. And we have toolboxes here. So if you've been used to using ArcMap, you must be a pro at navigating these tools. But if you're not, then we have an option of searching here. For example, if you want to search for the clip tool, you just put the keyword clip and you enter. It will give you a list of tools that fall under, that are fit for this keyword that you've put. And the advantage is that it also adds a small description for each tool to help you understand more about what each tool does. So if you're not sure about what tool you want to use, you are lucky you can read and know what you actually want to use. It can guide you to know what to use. So that's analysis. And now we can try to close this. And oops, I've accidentally closed the catalog pane. So in case you're working and you accidentally close your catalog pane or even your contents pane, these are very important panes to help us when you're working. But if you close them accidentally, you have a chance to always open them again. So you can go to the view, and in view in the Windows group, you can always click on catalog pane and it opens again. You can also click on contents pane and it opens again. So let's look at each of these panes and we see what they have for us. So this is the contents pane. I said earlier on that it works just like the table of contents in ArcMap, and it has the layers that we are working with in our map, as you can see. But we have some tabs here that can guide us on how to work with our contents pane. This one is the drawing order. Currently, it's what we are using. We can also try using the list items by data source. Now here they are listed according to their data sources. We can also list them by selection. Here we have the chance to be able to select those that we want to be able to appear on our map and those that we don't want. We can also be able to select by editing, and we can be able to select those that we want to be able to be edited and those that we don't want to be edited. We can switch them off. We can also do the same for list by labeling, but I'll leave it to list by drawing order, which was the default. So we can also look at the catalog pane. It has projects that have different maps. We've talked about this in the slides. Now, maps has all the maps that are included in your project, as you can see. We also have the different toolboxes that are in our project. We have the different databases. We have the different layouts all listed there, styles, all there. Now, if you want to connect to the portals, be it online portal or enterprise portal, you just click on this portal here, and then you'll be able to see your content on your portal. We also have a computer. This is data on your computer. And then we also have favorites. Now, in case you have like a tool you keep on using, or a map or a data source that you keep on using, and you would want to access it easily, you can just add it to favorites. So how you add to favorites is you go to projects. Let me say I want to add a database, this North Vancouver. I can right click on it and I say add to favorites. So when I come back to favorites, you will notice that the North Vancouver geodatabase appears in the favorites. So that's how you do that. Now let's look at edit. We are going to look at edit in detail in the next round of demonstration. Let's see imagery. If you're working with raster images, this is the area you'll find yourself working in mostly. Now, when you want to share, this is where you go to and all of that. So in case you also have a tool that you use mainly, let me say in the map here, you use the selection tool mainly. You can just right click on it and add it to the quick access tab here. So at any time you need it, you just click there and it will open. You don't have to navigate through map and go this side. So let's first go back to our slides and see how to continue. So let's talk about ArcGIS Pro Essentials. So ArcGIS Pro Essentials is very important to GIS professionals because it helps us to perform our day-to-day duties. And these include editing our data, conducting analysis, and creating our deliverables, maps, and information products. So let's look at our favorites. We've hinted about favorites, so we can add geodatabases, styles, folders, tools, favorites. If these are things you use constantly, you can just add them there. And then for favorites, for example, I know most of us have like a data set that we use mainly for all our projects. Like this data source is what we use mainly all the time. So what we'll do is we can set this data set to be added to new projects automatically. You don't have to do it manually. So how you do this, you just right click and say add to or new projects, as we are going to see in the next session of demonstration. So we can also look at editing in ArcGIS Pro. So previously in ArcMap, when you wanted to edit, you had to always click on start editing. And if you wanted to stop, you click on stop editing. But here, there's no need for you to start or stop editing. The software is available for you to start editing anytime you need to. We can also continue creating and modifying features with even better functionality. We can do versioning in ArcGIS Pro. We can edit maps and geodatabase topologies. We can also organize our layers into one group, if that's what we want our map to look like. And also we have the search/filter option that helps us to easily navigate to the tools we want to see. Gone are the days where we had to scratch our heads to look for these tools. Now you don't even have to look through the toolbar and keep scrolling until you see the tool. You can just search and it will display as you've seen earlier on. We have the favorites as we've seen, and then you also have the option of automatically saving edits. Now this option helps us to save our data and reduce on the risks of losing our edits when we've done them. We have analysis in ArcGIS Pro. Here we've seen the analysis tab previously. And for any analysis you want to do, you click on the analysis tab, then you click on the tools icon. It will automatically open for you the geoprocessing pane. And the geoprocessing pane has all the tools as we've seen previously. You can just select any tool that you want to use. We also have the model builder that helps us to build geoprocessing workflows visually, as you can see in the image on the left. We can also automate our data management workflows using the model builder, shall we see. We also have ArcGIS notebooks that can help us to do some coding. We have Python where we can create our scripts and coding. We also have interactive analysis workflows. We can do suitability modeling. We can do a network analysis. We can do visibility analysis. We can do all of that in ArcGIS Pro. We also have a gallery. Now in the gallery, we are able to customize our tools. If there's a tool that you use frequently, let me say you use the buffer tool or clip tool so much, you can add it to our gallery to display. Now this here, up here, where my mouse is the gallery. You can just add any tool that you want to access easily and it will be in your gallery. You can also do scheduling, whereby you can add tasks. If there are certain tasks you want to run at a certain time or any time or any day, you can add them to the scheduling. So now one of the key differences between ArcMap and ArcGIS Pro is the Python version. ArcMap was working with Python version 2.x, and Python is working with 3.x. So if you have a script in ArcMap that you want to now upgrade to ArcGIS Pro, you can just upgrade it, and you can always use the Analyze tool for Pro. It will help you update your script. And in case there are any lines you need to edit, the notification bell will always help you to navigate to those lines and check them. We also have mapping in ArcGIS Pro. Now we've talked about ArcGIS Pro being a project-based application, which means that it has multiple layouts. You can see we have multiple layouts here. We have a 3D layout, we have a 2D layout. We also have transparency. Gone are the days where we had to convert our maps into rasters for us to be able to print them. We have map series. We have map series. We have 3D mapping. We have animations. We have temporal and range sliders and graphics. And we also have something very important, which are the tables. These tables are always upgraded with every version that comes up. So tables help us to organize our data and attributes in ArcGIS Pro. We have attribute tables and attribute panes. With attribute tables, we are able to create, filter, calculate field, calculate geometry, freeze fields, play around with the size of the fields and all of that. This is how an attribute table looks like, where my mouse is hovering. We also have the attributes pane. Now, this attribute pane can help us to edit and update our attributes because of its great functionality. We also have the field view, where here we are able to add different fields in our tables that we want to work with. And so we also have styling. It's known that all styles are installed with ArcGIS Pro. And we also have a new style format, which is the .stylx. We can easily import styles from ArcMap and customize our styles in ArcGIS Pro. We can also add styles from our projects in ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise Portal. So let's first go back to our demonstration and see something about it. So from the previous demonstration, we had added this geodatabase to the favorites. Now, if you want to add this geodatabase to all your new projects, so that when you open a new project, this geodatabase appears, all you can do is right-click on it and then you say add to new projects. So when you click add to new projects, it will appear in all your new projects. So having done that, let's look at this map that we have here. Let's first try to zoom into the bus routes, because that's what we are going to use mainly. Use the bookmark for bus routes, and these are our bus routes. So in case you want to add new routes to these, how do you do that? You click on the edit, and in the features group, we have create, modify, delete. So what we want to do is to add new bus routes. So you click on create. It will give you all the layers, and we are interested in bus routes. So we look for the bus routes. We can employ the use of the search by typing bus, and it will help us to zoom into the routes. So you click on this layer, will give you the edit tab. So I can click on my snap tools and make sure it's on. Then I can go to where I want to add the bus route, click there, finish. So I have added a new feature called the bus route. So now in case I want to add a bus route that has a bus stop to it, or routes that have bus stops to them at a certain distance, how do I do this? I click on the manage style. It will give me the routes. Can go ahead to select the bus routes that I want to use. So when I click on it, this place here, when you right click on it, you can be able to create a group template. So when you click on the group template, it will prompt you to give it a name. Since you're working with bus routes, I can call it bus route with transport. And then here we have to give a description, which can be new transport means. All right. Okay, so we can go to tools now. These tools will help you to be able to add the bus routes, but I don't want to use freehand and I don't want to use straight line, so I put them off. I can now go to builders. Now in builders is where I am able to specify what other layers I want to add together with the bus routes. I'm interested in adding bus stops to the bus routes. So when you put bus, they'll give you all those features that have bus to them. So when I click on bus stops, it will prompt me to enter a position along a line. Yes, I want to be able to add bus stops at a distance from the beginning of the line. So you select beginning of the line. So at a distance, you specify the distance. I would like to use 25 meters. When you're done, you can say add. When you're done, you go ahead and say okay. So we have our new group template called bus routes transport. If I want to add my bus routes transport, I can just click here, finish. So when you zoom in, you'll be able to see the bus stops at 25 meters from each bus route. Okay, so you can put as many as you want. All right. So when you're done, you can then go ahead and click on manage styles and you get out of that. Then when you're done, you may want to, in case you want to create more and more bus stops or bus routes with bus stops, you can then come here to the filter and say filter by, you say groups. They will only display for you those groups that you have. So if you want to keep on using this layer of bus routes, group template of bus routes transport very many times, what you do is you can add it to favorites so that you can easily access it at all times. So how you add to favorites is you can first get out of the manage templates and close this. Then when you come back here, we have favorites. So in favorites, we have this icon where we can add a folder, and we also have this icon where we can add a template. So if you want to add the template that we just created, you click on add template, and then it will give you all the templates you have. But since we have one, it's the only one displaying, so you can go ahead and click on it, and it will now appear under your favorites for easy access at any time. So when you're done with that, we can then close out of that and get back to our catalog pane. So let's look at how we can do analysis after seeing how we can edit. Now in analysis, we know it's always under the analysis tab. When you click on the analysis tab, you can access the analysis history to display for you all the tools that you've used recently. When you click on that, you'll be able to see all of them. Now remember when I talked about scheduling in the slides, this is where you can do scheduling from. So if you have a tool or a task that you want to run like every hour, you can go ahead and click on scheduling, and then you schedule it to run every hour when you need it. So let's look at the tools now. We have very many tools in here. We have the geoprocessing tools. We have favorite tools. We have the toolboxes here. We have the portal. In here, we have the tools that you can access from ArcGIS portals. It can be for either online or enterprise, depending on the portal that your ArcGIS Pro is connected to. So when I click on different tools, they can help me to run. So I was able to create a model, and this is how it looks like. I wanted a model that can help return bus routes within the city of North Vancouver. And after that, I wanted to be able to intersect it with streets and return for me streets that are intersecting these bus routes in North Vancouver. So this is my model, and it's called Model F. So if you want to access it and run it again to help you return more streets, you can just type in the geoprocessing tool pane model, and it's there. So you just double click on it. And when it opens, you can be prompted to fill in the different fields. And when you're done, you run it. It helps you to automate the different workflows whenever you need them. So when we are done, we can always also add this to our favorites, or we can also add it to our analysis gallery to be able to easily access it anytime we need it. So we can right click and say add to analysis gallery. Now our analysis gallery is up here. In the analysis gallery, we have the customized tools that we add whenever, so that we can access them easily whenever we need to. So you notice that the model F that I've just added actually is here. So you can add any tool that you want to access easily at any time, just like we've done that. So now let's look at how we have ArcGIS Pro has Python notebooks. So let's see how we can use them, how we can apply them in ArcGIS Pro. So usually we can type some codes and it will return for us the information we are interested in. So for today, we are going to see how we can add the Hello World feature, and we get some results. So you actually notice that in my project, I have different notebooks already there. I can also right click here and I open a notebook, one of the already existing notebooks. So when it opens, we can actually go ahead and we type our code, which is A is equal to, we're going to write the word hello world. So we can just go ahead and type hello. Then we can say B is equal to world. Then we have C. Now C is where we shall be able to combine A and B at this moment. We shall say that C is equal to A plus B. And then when we say C and we click on run code, it gives us the hello world. So that's how the ArcGIS notebook works. And now let's look at the layout. So in case you have your map, let's use the demo map. And now you want to create a layout for it. How you do it is by going to the insert tab. When you click on insert, it will give you new layouts. It will have an already done layout in ArcMap. You can just import using the import tab. And if you want to create a new one, you go ahead and you click here. You can go ahead and you select the layout that you want to use, which can be the A4. And when it has created for you, then you would have to add a map frame. So you can go ahead and look for the map frame you want to add. Then with Vancouver, you can go ahead and draw it. I'll leave some space up for the title, and I'll leave some space down for the key and the scale. So when you draw it, it automatically appears down there. So that's how you're able to add your layout in a format that you can either export, that you can either print it or export it as an image or PDF. That's how it appears. So when this is done, you can go ahead and you add the scale bar, the north arrow by just clicking on it. Then you select the north arrow that you want to use. It can be this one. You can come here and you just draw it somewhere up there. You can also go ahead and move it to fit it where you want it to be. We can also add the scale bar. We have a variety of them in here. So you can go ahead and you click on the one you would like to use. So if I select this and come here and draw it, you can also go ahead and add a title. So that's how you create the layout. So now, in case you've created your layout and it looks very like this, you can go ahead and you create map series. So when you click on the drop down of map series, it will give you options to either create one from bookmarks. But today we are going to look at creating a spatial map series. So when you click on spatial, it gives you a map frame layer, but you select the layer you're interested in using. So we shall use the park boundaries layer. And down here, you're prompted to select the name of the field that you use. We shall use the park name, and you can say okay. So it gives you the different parks. You can see we have Bailey Isle Park, Hunter Park, Trillium Park, Sarita Park, Byron Park. So all of these now are the map series we've created. So when you click on one, it automatically changes on the map. So let's look at how we can create a layout from the map we have. So to create a layout, you go to Insert, and then there is this option of New Layout. In case you have a layout already created in your ArcMap and you want to just import it into ArcGIS Pro, you can just come to this icon here. It's called the Import Layout, and it will help you import your layout. Import layout file, and you'll be able to import your layout file. But if you have your map and now you want to create a new layout, what you do is you come to New Layout and you select the type of layout you would want to use. I'll select the A4. So it will display for you the layout. And now you want to add your map frame. So what you do is you click on the drop down and select the map that you've been working in, which is this, North Vancouver. And now you want to add it here by drawing it. I'll leave some space up for the title, and I'll also leave some space down for the map keys and legends. So that's our map. It has been added very well. So now you want to add the map elements, which include the north arrow. You can just come and draw it somewhere there. You want to also add a scale bar. You come and select one that you're comfortable with using. Draw it there. You would want to also add a legend. You can come and draw it there as well. So you can now you want to add a title. You just come to the graphics and select the text box. Then you come and you type in your text. Can be demonstration map. Demonstration. Add your title depending on what the map is all about. So this is now our layout, and you can go ahead and share it by printing or exporting. So after looking at that, now we would want to see how to work with map series, which are replacing the data-driven pages in ArcMap. So if you have your layout, so we can close this out since we're done using it. Now, if you have your layout, oops, there's already a map series. So let's first remove it. So now this is a map frame. Now, if you want to represent it using map series, whereby you have like a series of pages for each area's map, instead of having a range of or a map of extent, you can do this using map series. So we have two map series. We have the spatial map series and the bookmark map series. So for that, we shall use the spatial map series for today. When you click on it, it gives you this box that will ask you to select the layer you would want to use. We shall leave the park boundaries layer. It's okay, we would want to use that layer. So now let's select the name of the field that we would want to use for the map series. We shall select park name. And when you're done, you say okay. So you notice that the map now zooms into a specific park. And on the left here, we have a number of parks which are represented using a layout for each. So you would want to navigate through. You notice when we click next, we now get each park zoomed to. You notice that? Yeah, so this is how we work with map series in ArcGIS Pro. Now let's have a simple look at how to work with tables in ArcGIS Pro. So this is a map, and we have the layers here. And now let's look at the attribute table for the bus routes. So when you open the attributes table, it displays down here a table with the attributes of the map. We also have things here about the fields. You can add fields, you can calculate fields, you can select attribute, you can select the table by attribute. So let's try selecting the table by attribute and we see how it works. For this, if you have like a specific attribute and you would want to select only elements that have that attribute, you would use this tool then. So let's try using it and we see how it goes. So we shall say where the root, we shall use root. And since we are seeing 242, shall say is equal to 242, so that only those elements that have the attribute of 242 are selected. You notice they are all selected and others are not. So that's how you use it. And let's now look at how you can add a field, how you can add a field in your attribute table. In case you have a field that you want to add, you come to these three lines. In here, you will go to fields view and it will display for you this view where you have the different attributes. Now, when you're in here, you can add a field by clicking here. You can say, I want to add a new field. Okay. Can check its data type, and when you're done, you just say enter. Then up here, where your tools are, you notice there is a save icon. So you can say save, and after saving, you can so after saving, you can close out of this fields view. And now we can go back to the bus routes table to see if what we have added has actually been able to add. So we've added a new column called new field, and you notice on your right-hand side, there is a new column called new field that has been added. So that's how you add new fields. Now let's look at how we can play around with the attributes pane. We have the attributes pane up here in the contextual ribbon. Now the attributes pane can help us to edit different attributes. So for example, you notice that it has by default selected one, right? Bus route one, and down here we have attributes for bus route one. So in case there is an attribute that was collected wrongly and you want to edit it, you just click on it and you change either object ID or route name is not correct and you edit it from here. And when you keep on selecting, like all the attributes of 2 are displayed, 3 attributes of 3 are displayed. So that's how you play around with tables. And I think let's first go back to slides and we now look at integration with ArcGIS Pro, which is our last part. So ArcGIS, we said earlier on that ArcGIS Pro can easily be integrated with the portals of ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Enterprise. And this is very easy, as we are going to see earlier on. What this means is we can be able to access data from those portals, download it, perform edits to it in ArcGIS Pro, and when we are done, we can then publish them again to the portals. We can also be able to create a map in ArcGIS Pro and then publish it directly to the portals. In ArcGIS Pro, we also have different base maps. So we have a variety of base maps as we are going in the demonstration. You can be able to navigate through them and select the one that matches your work. We also have access to ArcGIS Pro. You can always access your online content or even organization content. For example, if you have a colleague who is working on a certain project, they can just package this project and share it with you. And then you'll also be able to work on the same project and perform edits together with your colleague. We have the Living Atlas that has a variety of data. Now, if you're working on a project, let me say that is themed, working on floods or working on landslides, you can just go to ArcGIS at Living Atlas and you can type in the keyword floods. They will display for you all the information about floods. You can always get some information from there and add it to your workflows. We also have demographics information. We have the World Geocoder. Now, the World Geocoder is a geocoding service that is in use in ArcGIS Pro by the Esri team. This geocoding service will help us to add information like street names to our maps. It can also help us to add data and information to our tables. So in our ArcGIS Pro, we can configure pop-ups, like on your right-hand side here, you can see there is a pop-up showing the attributes of that point. So we are able to configure pop-ups to display only that information that you want our viewers or audience to look at. Now, this information can be images, text, or the fields that are in your layers. We can share maps as web maps and web layers. As you are going to see, we can also save these web maps from the portals online. We can also share 3D scenes. We can share web tools, but we can also package and share project maps and perform analysis. And lastly, we can export and print, just like people have been able to do that in ArcMap. It's also there in ArcGIS Pro. So let's have a demonstration about what we've just learned without that. So I'm going to click at a certain feature and you will see the pop-up displayed, and this pop-up will have attribute information for that certain feature that I've selected. I'll click on one of the points here. So I've clicked on a district boundary. So I'll click on a point. It's the bus stop 231, and so currently this bus stop has this information. You can see that the information displayed is a lot, quite a lot. So what we are going to do is we are going to remove some of these attributes and we display only some of them. How you do that is we go to the bus routes, you right click, then you go to configure pop-ups, it's here. So it gives you this pop-up window. Now, currently we have 13 fields displayed. So what we are going to do is we are going to edit it and limit it to a fewer number of fields to be displayed. So we can first check this. Then we go ahead and remove some of them. For example, the minimum measure, maximum measure, measure values, parts, and new field since we just added it. So when you're done, you can just click on this back arrow. And now we have only 8 fields. In case you want to add like an image, you can also click on it and click, they will display for you a window for add image. Click on the pencil to be able to edit. If you have a URL, you can always just paste it here or a hyperlink. So when you're done, you click on back arrow, takes you back. And when you're done, you can now you can also add charts and text. So you can now just come and click on one of your bus routes. And you'll be able to see the information reduced. So let's click on one of the bus routes and we see. So let's look at how we can add a new field. So you can just come to the 3 lines on the side, then you go to field view. And when you're done, you can scroll down. Here there is an option for click here to add a new field. You can just type new field. And then when you're done, you can say enter. When you're done, there is up here a save icon. Click on save and it will save. So when you're done, you can close out of this and then we can check for our new field. that we've just added. You notice it is there called new field. So that's how you add a new field. So now let's go ahead and look at how we can, ArcGIS Pro has a number of base maps, so you can keep on switching between base maps. When you click on the map tab, in the group of layers, there is this icon that has base maps. When you click on it, you'll see a variety of base maps that we have. And then you can go ahead and select the one that you would want to use. So let's try changing and we see how it appears. So let's use this one. I've been able to change the base map. You notice the changes. So that's how you change the base map in case you want to change. Now let's look at pop-ups. So when you click at a feature, it displays for you a pop-up window that has the attributes about that feature. Now here in bus stops, we have a number of features that we are seeing. And in case you want to configure them to show less or show more, you can always edit that. So let's go ahead and right click on bus routes. Then you go to configure pop-ups. It's right here. Then you will see that we have fields image. So currently we have 8 fields being shown. So in case you want to show less, you just click on the pencil. You can come here and reduce, or you can come and increase to show all of those that you would want to reflect. And then we also have images. You can add an image to your pop-up. When you click on it there, and you click on the pencil, it will give you a table where you can add a URL for the image or a hyperlink in case you have it. You can also add a chart or text. So since we have no image, you can close this and we leave it at 7 fields. And when you're done, you can close out of the pop-up. And now you can come and click on, go ahead and click on one of the bus routes, and you will notice left click, not right click. You will notice that the fields have reduced, okay? So now let's look at how we can integrate ArcGIS Pro with ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Enterprise. So in Catalog, we have the portal, which helps you to connect to the portals of Online or Enterprise. So let's see how we can access this information and add it in ArcGIS Pro. So in case you have a map on your portal that you want to add to Pro and make more edits to it, then you publish, then you save them on Pro directly. You can do that. Let's try and get a map here that we can add. So let's try and add this map. So let's try and add the web map EMK1. Just right click on it and say add and open. So it will add and open at the same time. So it is opening, as you can see. There's information already displayed in the contents pane, and here is the map. We've got this map from ArcGIS Online. We've opened it in ArcGIS Pro, and now we want to add some features to it. Then we save them again, but directly on the portal. So let's see how we can access information from the Living Atlas. Click on it. So we are going to access content from there and add it to our map. Since this is the map of Uganda, I'll just get something from Uganda, put UG keyword, and they give us this. So we shall add the UG district boundaries, right click on it, add to current map. So we are adding data from the Living Atlas to a map that we are accessing in ArcGIS Pro, but we also got it from our ArcGIS Online portal. So this is how it looks like. Now I want to save this directly to the portal. What you do, you go to the share button. There is the save web map tab here. Click on it. When you click on it, it will give you a prompt for sharing to help you save. So the web map is already there. The tags are already there since we are just updating an already existing map. So the map is going to be shared to my organization. Let's analyze. So the good thing with ArcGIS Pro, before you share your map, you have to analyze and make sure there are no errors or warnings, and then you'll be able to share. So when I click save, this map will automatically be saved with the updates on my ArcGIS online portal, since it's the one I'm working with. So we've been able to save. It's going through the saving process. That's how you do it. You can always access your map from the portal, add edits to it from Pro, and then save it directly. So lastly, we are going to look at how we can publish a map that we have created from scratch in ArcGIS Pro, how we can share it to our portal or packages and share it with other users. So for that, we still go to the Share tab. I'll share this since it's a map that we've been having in ArcGIS Pro. So for that, you still go to the Share tab. Now in the Share tab, there is this Share As group. We have Web Map, we have Web Layer, we have Web Style. All of these can be shared directly to your portal. If you have a style that you want to add to your ArcGIS portal, you can just choose to share the web style. If you want to share a specific layer, you can just select the web layer. If you want to share the web map, you can select the web map. You notice that the web tools thing is grayed out. Yeah, so this tool is currently being restricted to only enterprise. You can share web tools directly to your enterprise portal, but not your web on your ArcGIS online portal. So you notice here, we've been saving changes and has successfully saved these changes. So we can close out of that. And now we want to share this map. How you do it, you go Share tab, click Web Map. It will give you can add a name, can say Uganda districts map demo. Since we are just publishing it for the demo, can add a simple summary like this is a map showing the districts in Uganda. Then some tabs can be Uganda districts. These are like keywords that can help people easily access your map when they type in a keyword. So if you want, you can add it to a folder. You can share it to everyone. That means everyone who has access to ArcGIS online will be able to access our map. Or we can choose to just share it with our organization so that only members in our organization that have access to ArcGIS will access it. Or I can choose to share it to a group that I have. Or I can choose to just analyze and share it just to myself so that I'm the only one who has access to it. So we are analyzing for errors and warnings. You've already got one error, and when you hover your mouse there, it will be able to show you what error it is. Unique numeric IDs are not assigned. So when you click on the three dots, it gives you options. You can either open the map properties to allow assignment, you can auto-assign them IDs sequentially, or you can click help, which will take you to the help page and you read the error and find a solution. This one usually helps you when you don't know how to go about your error. Click error and help, and it will provide you a solution of how to go about it. But if you know it, you can always, and in case you don't know which layer it is, you can click here to select the layer in the context pane. But you know what layer it is, and we know that we just want to assign the IDs sequentially. So we click on that. And we can analyze again to make sure there are no more errors. And since there are no errors or warnings, we can click on the share button. And now it's sharing this map to our ArcGIS online portal. So as it's finishing the sharing process, we shall go through some of the things we've done. So we've done some editing, we've done some model building. We've seen a model builder. We've looked at notebooks. We've looked at map series. We've looked at sharing. We've actually gone through the essentials of ArcGIS Pro. So at this moment, there's nothing stopping you from starting to use ArcGIS Pro. So you can actually start using ArcGIS Pro. So we've seen quite a number of features by now. I think it's to be a very good and smooth shift or migration from ArcMap to ArcGIS Pro. Actually, ArcGIS Pro. So ArcMap has been able to share successfully. You can go back to the slides and see. These are some of the resources that will help you understand more of ArcGIS Pro. We have Esri Eastern Africa offers education and training, and it can be instructor-led, or it can be through Esri MOOCs, or even provide learning plans. So if you want to know more, you can always reach out for this. Then we have books that can help you learn more about ArcGIS Pro. We have online resources, help tutorials, videos. We also have YouTube videos in case you're stuck. You can always look out for them. So thank you for being with me through this whole process. And I think by now, all of you can start working with ArcGIS Pro smoothly. Thank you for tuning in. Have a nice day.